Ta-da! What's up, guys? Dave here, Relative Martian. So glad you could join me today. Today we're working on a 2006 GMC Sierra Duramax diesel, 6.6 liter Duramax motor. We're changing the fuel filter. Super easy process. You can do it at home, so do it yourself when you change the oil, which I'm also going to do a video on changing the oil on this today, so check that out as well. Anyway, I'll put the link in the description to this Wix fuel filter, so you can pick this up and change it yourself with basic tools. Simple. All we're going to need is a small flathead screwdriver, a pair of pliers so we can get the plug out of the bottom of the fuel filter. We'll need a slimmer style oil filter wrench. A little bucket like this would be real nice, just because the old filter is going to have some fuel in it. That way we can dump it in here without getting it all over the floor. And maybe a rag, a couple things like that too. So, also, once we get it changed, I'll show you how to reset the fuel filter life in the odometer display as well. First thing I'm going to tell you is take a rag and just stuff it in that hole right there behind the headlight. If you drop a screwdriver down there, sure it's hard to get it back. Okay guys, the first thing we got to do is remove this fender wall lining so we can get an oil filter wrench around that fuel filter and get that off of there. So we're just going to use a small flathead screwdriver, and you'll see these little plastic clips in here. There's a little lip in there. You can just pop that thing out. So there's a male and a female to it. Maybe we use two flatheads. There we go, that works much nicer. Then we can pop those right out. Alright, once we get that down, hopefully you guys can see in there. Let me show you in there. Alright, so with these clips you can see sometimes the whole thing's popping out because I don't actually have the right tool, but a couple screwdrivers does get the job done. And then some of them stay in there. I guess they all just come on out. But anyway, once you get this hanging, you can see fuel filter in there, and you can see the wire on the bottom, maybe. You can see this is not easy to videotape. So underneath the fuel filter, you'll see this wire, there's a clip. We want to remove that clip, and then we can twist the filter off of there. Okay, we're coming down. We want to make sure we don't dump a bunch of fuel all over. Alright, now we can dump our old fuel out of here. In our new filter, we'll have a couple O-rings. We do not want to mix those up with the old ones. I'm actually going to pull the old one and just toss it out of the way. I'm gonna drop my new ones right in the fuel so they're just nice and lubed up when we put them in. I just stuck that in a vise, took these babies, stuck them on there, came right off. Nice way to do it. So we'll just leave that there. We'll bring this over here. We're going to take this old O-ring off of this one. Get that off of there. We're going to put our new one on. Make sure there's fuel on it so that it's nice and lubed up. Create a nice seal. Make sure you get it all the way down. And we can just screw that into the new filter. There's a little debate on whether or not you should put fuel in this before you mount it in there. I am not going to put fuel in there because I know it can create some issues. We'll just have to prime it. Prime it all the way. Get that nice and snug. Basically going to put that on hand tight, and I'm just going to give that a little snug up with the pliers there. Then we want to take our new filter, just lay it right in there. Make sure it's in there nice and clean with no dirt. And as you can see, now she's ready to go in. We'll screw it in, snug it up by hand with a rag so we get a nice tight fit, and then we'll plug it in and then we'll prime it. Nice and snug. I'm gonna grab a rag and just double check. Got a little fuel and stuff on my hand, so I want to make sure I get it nice and tight. We're good. Real quick before I prime the fuel filter, I just want to show you how to, I was just going to button this fender up real quick, but then I better show you how these clips work. So you can see when I push this thing in, it gets real wide on the end. When I pull that out, it gets thinner on the tip. So when that's out, I can squeeze the front of this. So you got to have it out like this to push it into the hole, and then when you push this, it's going to spread it out and hold the fender in. That makes sense. So let me just show you one here. I push it in and then lock it, just like that. Alright, just one by one. Take your time, and just to show you, I got the fender wall in there. I actually found it easier if I put the female side in and then just push the male part of that clip right into the female side. Do them separately. It's kind of hard to pull them apart, you know, have them spread out and then push it. So if you put the female end in and then the male end separate, super easy. Anyway, now what we got to do is prime that fuel filter. We've got to fill that up with fuel. This is a prime button here. So there's a 1/2-inch wrench on the back. You might be able to get a Phillips screwdriver on, or I mean a flathead screwdriver. There's a flathead screw right back here. We're going to use that to prime. So we're going to loosen that, and then we can push this button. Keep pushing it until fuel comes out of that nut that you loosened. Alright, got a 1/2-inch socket. Now we can remove that. Careful not to lose it. You'll notice there's a little O-ring on there. You want to inspect that. Just make sure it's not broken or damaged. See, that looks pretty good. Make sure you set that aside where you will not lose it. Then, you see this, we can push this button until we see the fuel come out. Alright, we get a little fuel. Let's go ahead and push that down so there's no air. Screw that baby on there. Carefully not to cross thread it. We're going to give it a few more squeezes. Put that on there just to make sure there's no air. Push it down. Now we can tighten that baby up. Doesn't need to be too tight, just snug it up nice. And that's it. Fuel filter is changed. I'll go ahead and start her up and make sure she starts. Alright, let's hop in and change the fuel filter life on the in-dash display here. All we're going to do is we're going to turn the key to the accessory on position. We'll wait 5 seconds. Then we'll push the brake and the accelerator pedal down all the way and hold that for 10 seconds, and that will reset the fuel filter life. So we'll turn the key to accessory here. Just going to toggle around here. Engine oil, fuel filter life. We'll push the brake. We'll put the gas pedal all the way down for 10 seconds. There you go, fuel filter life reset. Now we'll turn the key back off. Turn the key back on. Fuel filter life, 100%. Easy peasy, folks. Woo! Pretty simple there, fellas. Ladies, folks, pretty simple, folks. Fuel filter change. I will put the link to that Wix fuel filter down there in the description, so follow that link, pick that fuel filter up. Make sure you change that fuel filter when you change your oil. Keep your truck running best, keep your fuel economy as good as possible too. Now I gotta change the oil on this, get it done. So I'll make a video of that too real quick, why not? So make sure you catch that as well. If this video helped you out, please hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. I got a lot of content that'll be coming out in the near future that I'm sure you'll be interested in. And some cool cars too coming in that I'll be selling too. So I appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you next time.